Hi, this is Jay, and I'm here with my mother, Mary, and we're here in her Buellane house. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
So there is Aunt Helen, who we've talked about, and she's a sister of your father. And then there's Cousin Helen, who is not equal to Aunt Helen. This is a different person named Helen, and you always knew her as Cousin Helen, and you're fond of her. Can you tell us about who she is, her full name, and this
Yes.
sort of stuff?
Yes, Cousin Helen was Jay Gould's daughter, one of his, I think, three children.
He had four children, two
Four.
sons and two daughters.
Oh, okay. And yes, and three of his children just loved the money, and for all the wrong reasons. And Cousin Helen was a very good person, and she somehow got into the Bible, or the Bible Society had a building in New York. I think it's just been sold on 52nd Street. And she spent her money and her time, really, in developing the Bible Society and sending Bibles all over the world, in other words, and I suppose missionaries, too.
And this all having nothing to do with our family. She's the daughter of Jay Gould. It was Helen Gould is her name.
Right. Well, Jay Gould had a sister, Sarah Gould, who had a son, Howard Gould, who married Mary. Now I get confused. At any rate, there's a family connection there.
But married a Northrop.
Well, Howard Gould Northrop, that's right. But he was the son, I guess, of Sarah Gould, who was married to a Northrop, I guess.
I see. So the sister of Jay Gould, and being sister, she would lose her name upon marriage or be a middle name. And so she married a Northrop. And so then her son is a Northrop.
Yeah. And her son was my grandfather, I guess.
And that's
No, my great-grandfather must have
yes,
been.
on your father's side,
Yeah.
the Northrop side.
Right. And at any rate,
And I'm sorry, do you say his name? Maybe I've already
Howard Gould Northrop.
Howard Gould Northrop. Interesting. Okay, the son, the nephew of Jay Gould, or a nephew.
Yes, that's right. But getting back to Cousin Helen, the good one, I had a connection. Well, we used to go to Christmas in her townhouse.
Where was that?
That was 40-something. I can't remember. I don't think the building is there anymore. But
On the east side, I'm sure.
yeah, and she had a player organ.
Really? Is that so?
Yeah. I mean, it played itself, right? And we would eat in this long dining room, and she always had an ice cream sculpture in the middle of it, or something. I don't know. And her daughter's family would be there with her children, and one of the children, David Burr Gould, I guess, no, whatever it is, lives out here somewhere. I saw that he had, yeah, so I want to get in touch with him. And anyway, Cousin Helen,
That's why she's a cousin, because she's not a niece. Well, she's not a daughter or your grandmother or an aunt. She's a cousin because of the splintering off that it's it's a cousin of Helen Gould.
Yeah, right. And she every year would have a celebration. Cousin Helen, at the Bible Society, and one year she asked me to be part of it, and anyone who was related to someone who had a beautiful bridal gown was asked to wear it. So I was asked to wear her bridal gown, which actually fit me, and march around in it. And unfortunately, I marched upstairs and downstairs without picking up my train, which is a no-no, but never mind that.
Excommunicated.
And, excommunicated, right. But my picture was in the New York Times, and it was very grand. But then she would have she would have family reunions every year, and we always used to go to those, which were always fun, great fun. So she was devoted to all the right things, it seemed to me.
Now, in terms of years, so there's Jay Gould, there is Sarah Gould, Marion Northrop. They had now I'm losing track of who yes, Helen is a daughter of Jay Gould.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that brings her into the early 1900s, but you say you knew her, and so that must be, and you even wore her wedding dress, so it's got to be in the 1940s then.
Yeah, I think it was.
She was pretty old?
Yeah, I imagine so, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and
why was she so in touch with the Northrop side of the family? Remind me, did she have children?
Yes, she had John and no, that was her grandchildren. Yeah, I can't.
So she clearly had children if she has grandchildren.
She was Helen Gould Shepherd. She'd married someone named Shepherd. And so I was the same age as her grandsons.
No,
she had two grandsons, John and David. So it was just a very special time, and it was good to. We were told she had a sister, and in the day when her sister was of marriageable age, it was the time when royalty in Europe wanted to marry rich American people.
And I'll tell you why, because the royalty were broke.
That's right.
They had the title and no bank account.
Yeah, so she, I think Castellani or something, I can't remember her name, but she went off and was a princess or something dumb. And another one of them started, I think, Monte Carlo.
One of the sons, then.
Yeah, one of the sons, and I don't know about the other son. And as a matter of fact, I think Uncle Sam, when Jay Gould died, he litigated, the family all was scrounging around with the money, and I think he litigated something that meant that Helen, who wasn't scrounging, would have her share.
I know what this is, and I know it only because it's in a biography of Jay Gould. We haven't had yet in the conversations who Uncle Sam is, and we'll come back to that at another time, but he's a famous lawyer and judge. And of the four children, the eldest son was given the authority after Jay Gould passed away to take care of the money. And he was eminently successful at losing it all. And so, but that was in the will. And so Uncle Sam contested whatever there was to contest and actually won. And then the children had whatever was left of what was available. And so your cousin Helen had a whatever she would have had.
Yeah, right. And I remember the story of Uncle Bill saying, and I walked through the streets of New York with a check for $500,000 in my pocket. Something like that.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
One would remember that.
Yeah.
And you said that you spent some time or on occasion went up to Lyndhurst?
Yeah, well, my father, I did for the reunion. That would be at Lyndhurst.
The family reunion.
The family reunion. But Lyndhurst was an amazing house that Jay Gould had built that included a bowling alley, of course.
What town is this in?
Tarrytown.
Bowling alleys were big back then.
Big.
Private.
And then they had a beautiful conservatory for flowers, and once a year a flower would bloom at midnight, and the bells would ring, and everybody have to crawl out of bed and go see the stupid flower. But anyway,
and it was for real. Like it would only open up at midnight, and you saw it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see it, but Dad did certainly. So they enjoyed
and these
it.
reunions, how big were? Like how many people?
Oh well, your teacher. Art was telling your teacher about the Gould connection somehow.
Mr. Bose.
Yeah, Mr. Bose, and about this family reunion. And Mr. Bose said, "Boy, I'd like to have the hot dog concession up there."
That's right. He did say something like this.
Yeah.
But how big were they? I mean, is this 10 people, 20?
Oh
50?
no, 50. So I mean, they would really come from
afar. And this was annual, or
yes, it was annual. It was annual, and I have a picture of myself as a little girl in a little rowboat thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
well, Lyndhurst is still there, but it's public space.
Yeah.
Or maybe they have a trust or something like that, but it's perhaps state owned. Oh. And I haven't visited it. It looks very, very Gothic.
Oh, yeah. And it's not very pretty inside to my eye. But one of his daughters, the one that went and became a princess, thinking that I guess she was a riot, had pictures all over her walls of train wrecks.
Really? Even before the Addams family?
Yes. Because
so
Jay Gould, of course, was in railroads. So
That's right.
Of course you should have train wrecks all over.
I'm sure he'd love that. Any other memories of Cousin Helen?
No, I guess that's all. That's all. But I have that picture somewhere. Of me in the Times wearing her dress.
Well, when we find it, we'll take a photo of that.
And we'll put it in.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
No.
Well, this has been
God
a lot of
bless
fun.
Her. Yes. A lot of fun, sweetie. Thank you, honey.
Bye-bye.
Bye.